How to teach a child writing skills? That's what this video is all about. Actually, it's going to be a video series because this is a chunky topic and it's on the forefront of many homeschoolers' minds and parents and teachers. How do you teach your child writing skills? Well, this is going to be a 4 or 5 part video series where we're going to dive into the types of things that we need to focus on when we're teaching our kids to write. Yesterday I was on my way home. I had picked up my youngest son from his college writing class, and he said, "Mom, I only got 9 out of 10 on my last English paper." And he goes, "I'm so mad. I'm going for that 100. And so we had a little conversation about perfectionism. That's not the goal. Comprehension is the goal, right? So he said, it's funny because the last few short assignments, I've only gotten 9 out of 10 or 90 out of 100. And I want to get over that hump. And I said, well, what was the issue with your last paper? And he replied, punctuation. I had sloppy punctuation, not terribly, but a little here and a little there. And so I lost 10 points off this assignment because I didn't follow professional punctuation, because his class is a technical writing class for college. And I said, you know what this means? This falls under the 3 no-nos of writing. Mama, dad, teacher. Something that I repeat to my kids almost every day, especially when we're writing, but it's been my broken record for the past, 15 years since it first fell into my brain, is that in writing, you need to know the 3 no-nos of writing. You need to know the purpose for whatever piece of writing it is that you're doing. You need to know your audience. Who is this piece of writing for? And you need to know specialized language in order to communicate that idea to your audience. And I said to my son, this falls under the 3 no-nos of writing. Which piece you didn't tweak it enough? And he said, audience. I said, we're writing for me, then that tight professional punctuation wouldn't be an issue, right? Because I haven't taken a technical writing class in ever, but even though I'm a professional writer, punctuation is not my thing. I'm one of those free punctuation. I love exclamation points. I love ellipses and yeah, so tight punctuation is not my thing. So if he was writing for me, that wouldn't be something that he would need to be concerned with. However, in this case, he was writing for a professional professor who is teaching business technical writing. So those punctuation, commas, semicolons, periods, exclamation points, or whatever are extremely important. And because he had missed some of them, he lost a few points on his assignment. So this is why this video series is coming at you, because this is one of those topics. How to teach your child writing skills is something that I get asked all the time from my email list or from homeschoolers that I bump into around just in the journey. When you've homeschooled over 25 years and all the boys that you've raised, all 5 of them, are excellent writers, amazing people, people of integrity, men of discipline. So when you see that, people go, wow, and then they ask me as if I have all the answers. That's funny. But I do know how to teach kids how to write. And so what this video series is it's going to break down this how to teach your child writing skills into 5 different videos. The first one we're going to talk about in the 3 no-nos of writing. The very first thing that we need to understand is that your child, your student, my sons, need to know why they are putting their pencil down on paper. That's understanding the purpose of the writing. And not all writing is essays and research papers. So that'll be the first video, and we'll talk about how you can use things like funny picture writing prompts in order to prove to your kids that not all writing is boring. because that's super important as you are teaching kids writing skills. The second video will dive into that idea, why my son lost his points. We will dive into knowing your audience, and I'll get to share why and how pizza and writing are very similar. That'll be a super fun one. The third one will be understanding what do I mean by know your purpose, know your audience, know your specialized vocabulary. What does that mean? And what on earth does that have to do with a hippo? We're going to talk about that in that video. And then the last video, I think it'll be the last video. No, actually, there's another video where we will go through, I have a list of ideas, over 40 of them, that will help you excite your child, student, about writing, because you need to understand that what they write is not as important as them going through the 3 no-nos of writing. What they write always has a purpose, always has an audience, even if it's for their own self-entertainment, and it always has some kind of specialized language attached to it. Even if you're talking about Legos, you would use a word like brick, right? So that's specialized vocabulary. So we'll talk about those ideas, how to use them, and I'll give you a printout that has a list of them so that you can put that in your toolkit. And then the last video, the 5th video, will be directed for you that have older students, like me, that have kids that are in college classes or getting ready for college classes or are taking strict high school classes. And we will talk about how to set up a paper for MLA format. Now there's a particular way that a paper needs to be set up in order to be handed in to a classic high school writing class or a professional college level writing class. And there's 2 branches, MLA and APA. I have always used MLA, and my kids have only used APA, just totally different language, specialized language, once. And one of my kids had one professor that required that. So they're similar, but we're going to focus on MLA formatting because it's what I have experience with, and it's what has been requested by professors the most. And the reason that's important, so don't lose that, and I have resources to help you teach that and to make that fun too, because all writing should be fun, at least a little bit, to somebody. The reason is that even if you have written eloquently and you go to turn in a paper in a college class, if it's not set up properly, if the page number's not in the right place, if you don't have enough white space, or if it's not spaced properly, then you'll lose points. And you don't want to leave free points on the table. Like, that's a serious no-no. We never pass up extra credit, and we never leave those freebie points for setting up your paper properly. Like, put your name on your paper. It's that kind of stuff. So MLA formatting will come. So that's what this series is all about. Why? Why is it important that we teach our kids writing skills? Because it's one of the primary ways that we communicate. Think about it. It's 2022 right now. We're not sending telegrams. We're not sending carrier pigeons. But even if we were, those are forms of writing. We don't even pick up the phone and talk to people as much anymore. We are texting, emailing, or sending some kind of comment on some social media platform. And every type of writing has its own parameters. And so it's important that our kids are equipped with the skills, those writing skills, so that they can pitch and change how they're writing in order to communicate their ideas to the right audience using the right language. See the 3 no-nos of writing. So we're going to break it down. It's going to be a 5 video series, unless I decide to add another one to it. 1 video released daily. The first video is coming up right after this one, and I will meet you there.